So a low-budget, black and white thriller taught audiences to fear showers, and well, it made modern horror possible in theaters. I'm Matt Haskin. I'm a high school history teacher, and I'm taking you through Billy Joel's "Weed It and Start the Fire," line by line, lyric by lyric, and well, we're up now to Psycho. And when Billy Joel sings Psycho, he's pointing to Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 film, which was this low-budget gamble that reset what Hollywood could show and also how it could, scare. The setup is pretty ordinary. You have Marion Crane, played by Janet Leigh, and she steals some cash, she hits the roads, and she ducks into this lonely roadside motel during a rainstorm. She meets a polite, kind of nervous clerk, Norman Bates, played by Anthony Perkins. And the movie seems to turn into kind of a character study about like guilt and escape. But then comes the pivot, right? You have a shower scene that kills the apparent lead a third of the way through. And viewers realize then, nothing is safe at this point, not even the person who appeared on the movie poster. And so how did it work? Well, Alfred Hitchcock stripped the production down to its bare essentials. He shot it in black and white with a television crew to try and keep costs down and to make the violence feel rather stark instead of gory. And then the scene itself, when it comes to the shower scene, it's a master class in just suggestion. You have very tight framing and quick cuts. The water and glass and shadow, and then you have Bernard Herrmann's stabbing, just string score doing half the work. It's the music, the and censors, counted frames, and audiences swore they saw a knife enter the flesh, and in reality they saw edits and angles and chocolate syrup that was just swirling down the drain. The marketing for the film was just as radical. Hitchcock insisted on things like no late admission into the film, so that way the shock would land. And he posted lobby cards warning audiences to arrive on time, and filmed this kind of mischievous trailer, touring the motel and the house on the hill without giving away the twist to the film. Lines wrapped around blocks, and theaters just really kind of just leaned into this event. After the overall shock, the film turns the screw. Lila Crane, played by Vera Miles, searches for her sister. The camera just kind of prowls around the house, and the story reveals a killer whose identity has been split by both grief and control. The portrayal of mental illness is rather dated, and it's kind of sensational, but as cinema, it's really indelible. I mean, the eye to drain match cut, the basement reveal, and then that calm, unsettling final smile at the end. Why does it matter? Why does Psycho matter? First, the form. Psycho showed that suspense could be built with editing and sound and negative space and not gore. Second, business. It proved a director could finance modestly, market rather boldly, and also reap a giant return, which nudged studios towards creator-driven thrillers. Third of all, the genre. It's the missing link between classic suspense and then the later slasher template. The isolated setting, the vulnerable victims, and just the score that was just on a knife's edge. And you have a reveal that just flips everything you think you know. Now, the legacy runs everywhere for Psycho. The shower strings in commercials and sporting events, and you have TV's love of the mid-season kill the lead twists, and then you have a generation of filmmakers studying how to hide violence in plain sight. Even its controversies, end up shaping policy. The film's battles with censors helped to loosen the production code, making room for the movie ratings era that will follow. When we tie it back to the song, in one word, the name of the movie, Billy Joel tags the moment when Alfred Hitchcock, a director, turned thrift and just audacity, into a cultural earthquake that you can still hear in just those few violin notes. And overall, why it matters as a film and why it matters as part of this song. Psycho explains just like the grammar of the modern thriller. You have edit for impact, you have score just for this feeling of dread, and you market it as an event. It's where narrative risk, formal precision, and pop culture all kind of meet in a bathroom. If you enjoyed this episode of We Didn't Start the Fire, Psycho, hey, do all the things. Leave me a like or a follow or a share or something like that. I'm enjoying making these videos, so I'm just going to keep doing it anyway. But anyway, so next up after Psycho here, we're going to continue on in the song, and we're going to Belgians in the Congo. Follow me, and you'll be able to see the rest of the series. Thanks for watching.